So Apple Home smart cameras. At the very moment of this video, the only one that works with HomeKit directly is the D-Link Omna, which means that D-Link currently has a stranglehold on HomeKit-enabled smart cameras, but because I am awesome, I am going to compare the D-Link to one of the more popular smart home cameras, the Nest Cam Indoor, as well as the Nest Cam IQ. Now for me, the standout feature of the D-Link Omna is the ability to see what's going on in my house through Apple Home remotely without having to pay another third-party money. The notification system isn't as polished as the ones you'd find through Nest, but it does get the job done in terms of monitoring your home. From a hardware perspective, it almost goes toe-to-toe with the Nest Cam Indoor, but falls short of the Nest Cam IQ. For my D-Link Omna review, I've given this smart home camera a score of 3.1 A's out of 5. The Omna does score lower than the Nest Cam Indoor and the IQ, but that shouldn't scare you away since some of the features of the Nest products might not be relevant to you. If you need more info, check out my website. At Smart Home Reviews A.ca, Monty and I base all our smart home gadget reviews on actual usage, which means we'll use the products before reviewing them. And I know that sounds like a very logical thing, but a lot of reviews don't do that. And we do all this just really to answer the question, how do I get the most out of my home? And whatever I discover, I'm just going to share that with you. Now when it comes to design, the Omna looks like a tiny soap dispenser. The Omna looks heavier than it looks, and when running, it gets quite warm. The bottom has a rubber pad that's quite tacky, so it won't slide around easily. The bottom of the camera also houses the MicroSD card. I will note that there aren't any mounting options like the Nest cameras have. When it comes to motion sensing, the Omna allows you to pick which part of the field of view to trigger on. Now from my experience, the custom field of view for motion is fairly accurate. The Omna also has infrared LEDs, which provides about 16 feet of night vision. So your Omna can watch your home, or whatever part of your home you've got it set up in, 24 hours a day. The video sensor on the Omna also has a 180-degree field of view, which records in full HD at 1080. The Omna also allows you to communicate through the unit, so it is possible to carry a conversation with somebody through the unit. I did a test between the Omna and the Nest cameras, and I will say that the Nest cameras sounded better as they picked up more audio and my voice was clearer through the Nest cameras. When it comes to functionality, the Omna app is quite simple to use, and well, it's nice in that way because it's just that simple. You can easily access the stored video captured by the Omna when it detects motion. The size of the card will dictate the amount of video stored. With an 8GB card, I got about 2 days worth of stored videos. With 32, well, 4 times as much, so 8 days. The Omna app stores everything chronologically, but it doesn't have the nice timeline design of the Nest app. I did say at the beginning of the video, being able to access the video clips that get triggered or recorded when the Omna detects motion is one of the standout features because I don't have to pay D-Link for that service. It automatically comes with the app and you can access it remotely through the Apple Home app. You compare this to Nest Aware, which is $10 a month. So over a span of a year, you're spending $120. And there's a good chance that at the end of the day, you're only going to access that service a handful of times. By the time that something bad has happened and you realize it, if you get a big enough card in your Omna, there's a good chance you're going to find that instance in that and all the stored footage. So it really depends on, I guess, how obsessive you are in watching your home. If all you're doing is just using the smart home camera to capture the possibility of something bad happening, then the Omna is going to do a great job. If you are like a hawk and you let your dog run wild in the house, I don't, I keep it in the bathroom when I'm gone, but if you got dogs that are just running wild in the house, then yeah, maybe it'd be nice to have the additional features of the Nest Aware and being able to be like a hawk at watching your home, even though you're not. In addition to being able to access the live feed from your home app, you can also access the feed remotely in the stored videos using the Omna app, which again, as I said, was handy. I didn't come across any issues with connectivity as the Omna has been sitting on my home network and on this mantle for several months now. If it matters to you, the Omna doesn't have a corresponding Apple Watch, but again, you can view the status of the device through your home app on your watch. I will add that being notified of all your motion in your house does actually get annoying with the Omna. I am hoping that the future versions of the home app will allow you to have notifications and automations that are a little bit more complex in the sense that it won't tell you that it's detecting motion when you're at home, or some sort of time frame. So detect motion between these hours and not during the other hours. The one thing I do like about the Nest products is that with the Nest Cam Indoor, this product was able to tell me that it detected a door, so it only now detects motion at the door. You can see the 2 Nest cameras behind me over this shoulder. The neat thing about the Nest Cam IQ is the facial recognition. So it only triggers when it doesn't recognize somebody, which over time, I think the last time it did not recognize my face was, I think, a day ago. So I haven't gotten a notification that I'm doing this in my living room. When it comes to compatibility, again, the Omna only works with Apple Home, so if you're not tied to Apple's smart home platform, you probably shouldn't consider the Omna. If you need to have an Apple HomeKit enabled smart home video camera, then the Omna is, I guess, going to be your only choice as of right now. I will say this though, I've been going between different smart home platforms like Amazon Alexa and Google Home as well. And having my video cameras, these two Nest cameras, sit outside of my Apple Home setup actually hasn't bothered me. It really bothers me when my smart lights sit outside of, I use Apple Home right now. It really bothers me that this Philips Hue bulb or thing exists outside of it, so I can't control it. The reason why I say it doesn't matter with these cameras is because you're not really interacting with your cameras. You're not using Siri to do something, you're not telling Siri to do something with these cameras. So having them exist outside of your chosen smart home platform isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm very picky about this stuff, and this didn't bother me at all. In fact, it was nice to see what Nest has done independent of what Apple is doing. So that's just another thing to consider. Again, if you're really hard up on just getting all Apple HomeKit compatible stuff, and for good reason, because, well, this stuff will evolve as Apple HomeKit evolves, then go with the D-Link Omna. If not, then go with a Nest. It's easy peasy. If you found this video useful, consider getting your smart home gadgets through my links, because none of these manufacturers decided to give me any stuff to review, so I had to go buy it all. So there is literally $1,000 worth of smart home gadgets right here. Like this 400, 300, 300. I'm sad now. Thanks for watching.